At 52, Tom Reynolds didn't think his life would look like this. He was once the guy people called to fix things, build things. He ran a construction business in Tucson, Arizona, had a crew, had respect, a wife, 2 kids, a dog, and a mortgage that was almost paid off. The American dream, at least on paper. Then, piece by piece, it crumbled. The 2008 crash swept through his life like a storm. Clients vanished, lawsuits emerged. His body began failing him, one injury at a time, a herniated disc, a bad shoulder. The kind of damage you can't outrun when your hands are your livelihood. His wife stayed for a while, until the stress turned to silence, then to shouting. Then one day, just keys on the counter, divorce papers, a note that read, "I can't do this anymore." He stood there, paralyzed by the weight of her departure, grappling with the emptiness that echoed in his heart. He knew he would never recover from this loss, as the shadows of regret loomed large, reminding him of every moment he had taken for granted. It was not just a farewell, it was the shattering of dreams they had built together, leaving a lingering ache that would remain forever. Tom moved into a smaller place, then a motel, then his car. A used Hyundai Sonata with a faulty starter and a pile of resumes in the back seat. He parked behind gas stations, took showers at the YMCA, applied for dozens of jobs, heard nothing back. At his age, with his injuries, no one wanted him. The engine hummed softly as he took another spoonful, contemplating the flickering lights ahead, the night air thick with uncertainty and a strange sense of finality. He closed his eyes, longing for answers. He opened his eyes and glanced at the rear-view mirror, the reflection showing a life lived yet haunted by choices. The silence of the night wrapped around him like a shroud, amplifying his thoughts, each one a ghost whispering, "It wasn't supposed to end like this." That's when he saw it. Scrolling through Facebook at 2 a.m. outside a 24-hour diner. A photo of a guy he barely remembered, Brian, living in the Philippines, shirtless, grinning, hammock, ocean in the background. Caption, "Living on $900 a month, never going back." At first, it stung. How dare this guy brag like that? But the longer Tom looked, the more a question formed. Why not me? That night, Tom went to the public library and searched. How to retire abroad with no savings. Cost of living Philippines. Can I move to Asia at 50? Lost in a world of digital tales, he felt a growing urge to pack his bags and embrace the unknown, envisioning the adventures that awaited him beyond his familiar surroundings. With each video, his heart raced as he imagined a life where spontaneity reigned, where the mundane faded away, replaced by vibrant cultures and new friendships. And he couldn't shake the feeling that a journey of self-discovery awaited him just beyond the horizon. And for the first time in months, he felt something. Not happiness, not certainty. Hope. With a heavy heart, he peered at the small pile of belongings left behind, each item a reminder of a life he once cherished. He boarded the plane feeling a mix of hope and regret. As the plane soared into the sky, he glanced out at the disappearing landscape below, silently bidding farewell to memories that haunted him. The vast ocean stretched ahead, promising new beginnings and the chance to rewrite his story in the heart of Cebu. With each step away from the car, freedom beckoned, a stark contrast to the cold metal seat that had cradled countless restless nights. Hope flickered in his chest. He took a deep breath. With uncertainty swirling around him, he set her sights on the horizon, where possibilities awaited. The road stretched ahead, and each footfall resonated with newfound resolve, while the weight of his past faded behind him like a distant memory. He was ready to embrace the unknown. When he landed, the heat nearly knocked him over. It was loud, chaotic, and foreign. Jeepneys honked past. Kids played barefoot basketball in the street. Vendors shouted in Tagalog, frying fish over open flames. He sank onto the bed, feeling the stiffness of the mattress beneath him, yet strangely comforted. The sunlight streamed through the window, casting warm rays on his face, igniting a flicker of hope that he hadn't felt in years. He closed his eyes, savoring the moment. This was not just a temporary refuge, it was a chance to rediscover himself amidst the chaos of life. With breakfast waiting and the world outside beckoning, he felt a renewed sense of purpose stirring within him, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. He walked the beach at sunrise, alone, unsure. But for the first time, he wasn't angry. He was curious. He met Rick from Detroit, who ran a bike rental shop. Elena from Spain, who taught yoga. And Carl, a 71-year-old Australian who opened a smoothie stand with his Filipino wife. They all told him the same thing. Start small. You don't need much here, just don't give up. Tom hesitated for a moment, feeling the weight of his dwindling finances. Yet, the ocean glimmered invitingly beyond the dilapidated structure, compelling him forward. Gathering his resolve, he approached the shack, envisioning a new beginning amidst its disrepair. Maybe this could be home, he whispered to himself. With each step closer, Tom felt a surge of hope. The rusty roof and broken windows faded from his mind, replaced by dreams of sand, surf, and the soothing sound of waves. Perhaps in this forgotten place, he could rebuild not only his life, but also his spirit. He asked the owner, $120 a month. He handed over the cash without thinking. Over the next few weeks, Tom cleaned, repaired, painted, and built furniture from driftwood. He strung lights, created a bar from old pallets. His first sign read, Second Chance Saloon, warm beer and better stories. At first, nobody came. Then a backpacker stopped in. Then a couple of locals. Then one night, a group of digital nomads heard about the Gringo with the Sea View. It wasn't a five-star bar, but it was real. And for Tom, it was his. One morning, he walked through the local market and met Maria, a widow in her late 40s with soft eyes and a sharper wit. She sold hand-woven baskets and told him, "You walk like a man who's been carrying too much for too long." They started talking, then walking, then laughing. She came by the bar with homemade lumpia, stayed to help him clean. They didn't rush, didn't label it. They just healed together. Tom had forgotten how good it felt to be seen. The vibrant atmosphere of the bar blossomed, fueled by laughter and chatter. The local kid darted between tables, balancing trays piled high as the enticing aroma of coconut shrimp wafted through the air. Months passed, and the bar evolved. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the bar transformed into a hub of celebration, where backpackers gathered to share stories and laughter, leaving behind glowing reviews that lured in even more tourists, each searching for their own slice of paradise. Then something wild happened. He made enough to not just survive, but live. He started sending money to his kids, bought himself a guitar, hosted open mic nights. Locals began calling him Kuya Tom, Big Brother. The sun rises slowly, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink as he takes a deep breath, savoring the salty breeze. He glances at Maria, her serene smile lighting up the moment. Contentment envelops them as they share this tranquil morning together, souls intertwined in a rhythm only they can understand. Each wave that crashes draws them closer, a reminder of life's simple joys and the beauty of their days spent in the sun. He says, "I thought I'd lost everything, but I'd only lost the lies I was told. That success is money, that failure is the end, that love is only for the young. I was never broke, just broken. And sometimes you have to go halfway across the world to find the pieces worth keeping." So if you're 40, 50, 60, even 70, and you think it's too late, it's not. This world is wider than your fear, and maybe your second chance is waiting, right where you've never looked. Would you ever take that leap? Tell us in the comments, because someone just like you is watching, hoping for a sign that it's possible. And maybe, just maybe, you can inspire hope. And maybe your story weaves together the dreams of many, igniting a spark that leads to transformation. The power of sharing your truth can break down barriers, allowing others to find the courage to chase their own aspirations, creating a ripple effect of positivity and change.